Greetings all! Today, we will be examining the relatively rare Ice-type Pokemon Bergmite, the Ice Chunk Pokémon, and its exceptionally rare evolution Avalugg, the Iceberg Pokémon. Though they might seem a bit cute to some, the members of the Bergmite family are unique creatures that can more than prove to be a physical pain to deal with in many cases.
Bergmite have white bodies with 4 tiny stubby feet used for locomotion when not skidding on ice and snow, their only other notable feature being the yellow eyes with purple-rimmed material around with them. Save for their belly, their body is covered by a large hunk of self-generated ice, giving them the appearance of a small landmass of ice. Their evolved form, Avalugg, have 4 large, discernible feet with legs split into a number of toes, with a large flat back and flat-topped head. Their entire form is covered with deep cracks and crevices that show a purple-tinged interior, additionally possessing a discernible mouth and separated head.
Bergmite and the evolved form Avalugg are unique among Ice-type Pokemon in regards to both their physical construct and the way they actually form from the environment.
Much as with Pokemon in the Snorunt family, these creatures are more inanimate material than living tissue. In fact, the only living tissue they do have is contained within a brain-like structure in their heads, or in the case of Bergmite, their bodies as a whole, and a series of vein-like tubes that act as conduits for absorbing and transporting water in their bodies. This is especially important for these creatures when it comes to healing or otherwise repairing cracks in their body, as they can absorb water vapor from the air and pump it through the damaged area from the inside, transporting it near the outside of their armored bodies and spraying it out at a negative 150 degrees Fahrenheit over the wound, where it quickly freezes and leaves the surface spotless. Moreover, these creatures are a sharp departure from other ice types in that they are born and grow much like an actual glacier does, though the retention and compaction of snow until it eventually refreezes and turns to solid ice. As a result of this, these creatures cannot survive outside of their snowy environments for very long, and are therefore completely isolated to the coldest, most remote locations in the world. Trainers will have to keep this in mind when trying to complete their Pokédex, but this should not deter any trainer from searching. Despite their odd forms, both of these icy beings are among the strongest of ice types and can certainly make life easy for trainers looking to add a bit of ice-type power to their team.
As a result of their odd forms, these creatures are a bit too simple-minded to be readily confused in any practical way, and they are able to absorb ice to regenerate their forms, potentially possessing the own tempo and ice body abilities as base abilities, while those that possess tempered bodies stronger than normal can potentially have sturdy as a hidden ability.
As far as the stats go, in the case of Avalugg, these creatures are all about close-quarters fights and cannot really handle much else. While the special attributes are extremely limited and they are quite slow, the base special attack, special defense, and speed stats all being below average for fully evolved Ice-type Pokemon, their base HP, attack, and defense stats are all above average, further possessing the highest base defense stat out of all Ice-type Pokemon. As such, these creatures can put up one heck of a stall against physical fighters and make themselves tough nuts to crack in that context, even in the face of a type disadvantage.
Bergmite by themselves are only moderately powerful creatures that suffer heavily in terms of special attributes and mobility, making them an easy target for the few predators that can actually make a meal out of the little organic material they have in their bodies.
As a result, these creatures tend to travel in herds in order to increase the chances of their survival, as they can actually be a bit of a challenge to defeat in large numbers. Even if this is not enough to make them a viable threat, Bergmite in the outdoors almost always travel with at least a single Avalugg as protection, freezing their feet to their back so they stay in place, so fighting them anywhere outside of cramped corridors is a potentially dangerous move in any situation. In battle, these creatures are not able to efficiently take advantage of their ice-type special powers, instead choosing to attack head-on with decently powerful physical attacks like Takedown and Ice Fang. Their icy bodies, tempered by the natural processes that construct glaciers, are hard to penetrate with even super effective strikes, and even getting close to them is a bad idea, as they can spew air that has been supercooled to negative 150 degrees Fahrenheit all over their bodies, freezing solid anyone that dares to attack them in close quarters. This can easily make these otherwise small beasts into a devastating force to deal with, but it is noted that their bodies are still weak against energy-based attacks. As such, only strong special attacks are guaranteed to be able to penetrate their otherwise surprisingly strong defensive bodies. In comparison to their pre-evolved form, Bergmite, Avalugg are titanic monsters that more than outweigh any other known Ice-type Pokemon. These monstrous titans possess a body made of ice that has been so heavily compacted that it has become as hard as tempered steel, making it almost impossible for opponents to deal much in the way of physical damage to their body, even with a super effective strike on their side.
Interestingly enough though, their body is actually much wider than it is tall, and the top half of their body is practically a single sheet of smooth ice, only separated by strands of connective tissue between cracks in its armor that allows it to move the trunk of its body.
These creatures are the densest of all ice types, and more than demonstrate this in that they're among the slowest. But this does not seem to bother them that much, as they're able to easily crush anything that dares to get under their legs with their powerful body slam attack they gain access to immediately after evolving, and block wide-ranging attacks with the wide guard technique. This is one reason why these monsters are banned in some parts of the world, as their cumbersome form makes them a danger to both people and Pokemon alike. Plus, any and all deepening cracks that appear in their body from damage or just basic movement can easily be healed in one night. Despite this, Avalugg are actually fairly intelligent and usually do not go anywhere in battle without a horde of Bergmite on their back, which gives them the odd appearance of an aircraft carrier. This is especially the case in higher latitudes, where they are often seen swimming in freezing waters among icebergs. In terms of their capabilities in battle, Avalugg are better able to make use of their body to not only deliver but especially receive physical damage in battle, even if their base speed stat remains the same after evolution. Moreover, the addition of a discernible head region allows these beasts to not only make better use of their powerful crunch attack, but, more importantly, the connective tissue that connects it to the rest of their body is elastic enough that these titans can pull the heads back to deliver a devastating Skull Bash attack, one of the most powerful of all normal type moves and in turn among the rarest. Overall, Avalugg are titanic creatures that can more than prove to be a devastating force in battle, but they are still held back by not being very effective in regards to dealing with and receiving damage from special attacks, a fatal flaw that trainers will have to prepare for in battle so it doesn't become a major issue.
While they might not always be able to handle the heat outside of their frigid confines, the members of the Bergmite family are sturdy creatures that can take a beating from physical assaults and keep right on going. You might not be able to use them effectively outside of cold environments or at the most temperate ones, but so long as you pick these sorts of environments to battle in, there are a few things that can penetrate the icy forms without relying on special attacks to do so.
Just do yourself a favor and try not to have too much fun with them. It might be tempting to use the back of an Avalugg as a small skating rink, but it's unlikely they would take kindly to such without their permission and will gladly crush you underfoot and underbelly if you so much as try to get underneath them to escape.
Thank you all for watching this video. It is always a pleasure to help teach others about the world of Pokemon and the many facets of it that exist in both the world we call home and the world they call home. If you'd like, please leave a comment and subscribe and ring the bell to this channel to get regular updates on content and anything else that might be going on. You can find me and my written work on DeviantArt under the name Utitus and be informed of information and content uploads on my Twitter page and my Patreon page. Donations are always welcome. Always remember, the world of Pokemon is a vast and varied place, and there's no telling what secrets might be hiding just around the corner. So keep watch, stay vigilant, and always prepare for the unexpected. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.